Today on Mormon Times, meet the parents of 29 children.
It's one of the things that we did because we felt like God inspired us to do it.
How children from 8 countries and 6 continents were joined together through faith and love.
Just being with my dad makes me want to be a better person.
The power of faithful fathers, inspiring stories about Latter-day Dads. And the new online tool that's strengthening testimonies of young women all around the world. The Personal Progress Program goes digital. That's all today on Mormon Time. Good morning and welcome to Mormon Times. I'm Kathy Aiken. The church, as we know, is all about families. When we get married, we're asked to multiply and replenish the earth. With 29 children, one couple from Pleasant Grove have certainly done their part.
It is certainly not the path for everyone, but it was the path for us, and we followed it wholeheartedly, and the Lord blessed us.
Greg and Holly Richardson's home is filled with love and laughter. It's also filled with many children. Currently, there are 14 children living at home.
You know, we've had people ask us, did you expect to have a family like this? And I'm like, heck no, who plans this?
Hello.
We were thinking a large family, meaning 6 to 8 kids, probably all biological, and they were all going to be healthy kids, and Heavenly Father had other plans, so.
The Richardsons' plans changed as well. Changed forever, they say, after their second biological child, Elizabeth, was born in 1988.
And she was born with severe disabilities. And it was something that we had to deal with because she was our daughter. And as we did, we came to learn that disabilities were not scary. Kids with disabilities were just kids who needed love.
So Holly and Greg went looking for disabled kids to love, and they found many. It started with 2 girls from Romania in the early 90s, one of those, Alexandra, born with Down syndrome, who has since passed away. Then there's Christiana, adopted from Russia as a baby missing some fingers.
When we went to get her, the orphanage workers are like shaking her hand in my face going, why didn't you adopt a good baby? This is a bad baby. I'm like, my gosh. She's missing fingers. But because of that, she was considered unadoptable and nobody wanted to look at her.
I think they're really good and they know how to be a parent to people who have disabilities and to people who are just new from a new country.
The Richardson family has children from 8 countries and 6 continents. 7 of those are teenagers, 5 in braces.
I have a lot of siblings and they help me a lot fitting in, and it just goes with the flow.
Their newest child is one they call their angel, 3-year-old Angelia, born with severe disabilities. Angelia is blind, and the majority of her brain never developed.
You know, I think they have some special gifts, and I think they have a little bit extra help. And so it's been a blessing for us, not only because they give us the opportunity to serve, but because I think they're a little bit closer to the Spirit than the rest of us.
Teach me to walk in the light of His love.
Several of the Richardsons' children have passed away, one biological and several who were adopted. But Holly and Greg say what matters most is the fact they're sealed to all 29 of their children.
It means that we'll be able to live together forever, and that'll be fun.
We have the opportunity now to have children who have their lives changed by the gospel, and they can move forward and contribute, I think, to the world in unique and exciting ways.
Greg and Holly Richardson join us now with their daughter, Angelia. Now, all your children, they range in age from 3 to 23. How do you make this work?
Well, it's something that we've grown into, and you know, we started with one child just like every other family, and I think the most common question we get is, how do you cook for that many people?
I noticed you said everything you cook from scratch.
We do. We cook from scratch. We make bread. My children all have learned how to cook, especially as they get into their young teens. It's something where we all share and we work together. So.
And the chickens in the backyard, I noticed that. You say, how many dozen eggs do you go through every day?
We can go through 3 or 4 dozen eggs a day. So they like to eat eggs. They're a cheap source of protein, and so we do have about 50 chickens in our backyard.
Wow. Now you do volunteer work at your home, and Greg, you work for the church in the new Family Search program. How do you see this all coming together? Why does it work so well?
Well, we work hard at it.
You have to be either really regimented or really flexible. And there's times when we're a little of each, but probably more we're really flexible. And when something comes up that's more important, that's what you deal with.
Now, you said you were inspired to take this path, and because you have taken this path, God has helped you through this. Can you explain that?
He has. You know, there's many things where we have just decided that it was not just decided, but we felt inspired that this was the thing that we needed to do next, to go get the next children who belonged in our family. And sometimes it did not look like the way was possible at all. And in fact, what ended up happening is the Lord opened the way after we started down the path that was correct for us. So he provided, you know, a way for paperwork to get done that was being blocked, for money to come when we didn't think we had enough to pay for the adoption expenses. It's something where we stepped into the darkness and he provided the light.
That's great. Now, Greg, the big question, when I was there and watched Family Home Evening, your kids got along very well. I don't think it was staged. How do you get them to get along so well? Most people with just a few kids have a hard time in Family Home Evening.
Well, I think it's an advantage to have more children, because if there's someone they're not getting along with, they don't have to be with them. They can go be with somebody else. The kids seem to work things out on their own. They don't usually need mom and dad to get involved. They just work things out.
That is great. Are you finished adopting, Holly? Are there more children out there for you, do you believe?
We think we're done, but we're open to what Heavenly Father wants us to do. I mean, we think that 24 that we have adopted, plus the additional 5 that were sealed to us, is probably a full quiver.
And
but
there's 2 that are still in Africa, correct? They're
two
waiting
still
for
in Africa.
visas?
They're waiting for visas. We're trying to get them home. And they're both 3 years old, so.
Well, it's great to meet you both. I'm so impressed with your family. They were so well behaved, and it was so nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming in. Coming up next,
I think it's way cool.
the Young Women's Personal Progress Program goes digital. How you can take advantage of this new online tool.